we need to talk. There's been a lot of new releases lately, and I'll be honest, I haven't really been excited about them, which is why I haven't done another one of these videos in a while. So what I plan on doing going forward, I want to just pick out the stuff that I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about stuff that doesn't really interest me at all. So I'm going to pick out the 10 most interesting to me anyway releases or products that have been talked about lately, and then I will let you know my opinions of them and let you know if maybe I want to pick them up, maybe I think they're stupid. If they're just kind of irrelevant, I'll just skip over them and not even talk about it. So I'm gonna go back on Trendmood's feed. I don't even know how far, maybe like 2 weeks or so. And then we'll just kind of take it from there, and I will talk about some products and see if I want to buy them or not. So starting off, I actually want to talk about something that's been out for a little while now, and it is the Stila Cosmetics Vivid and Vibrance. These are 6 of their new shimmer and glow liquid shadows, and you guys know that I love the Stila glitter and glows so much. Now the shimmer and glows I don't love as much because usually when I use my glitters, I use them in my inner corners, and so I find that it's a lot easier to do that with the glitters than it is with the shimmers, because the shimmers are kind of meant to be more like an all over the lid kind of thing. But these shades and these colors are so fall, so Christmas, so holiday, so just beautiful and vibrant and bright, and I just... It's one of those things that I just really want, but I also know I really don't need. I'm sure you guys know what I mean when I say that, but these are just stunning. I would love all of them. I guess if I had to pick one, I would maybe pick the green, because green is just everything right now. And I love everything green, and green just makes me think of Christmas, and I love Christmas, and I wish it was Christmas already. I wish it was winter already. I'm so over this heat. Anyway, that's irrelevant right now. Let's see, what do we got next? Oh yeah, so Natasha Denona is coming out with a new foundation. It's called Transfer Matte, and I think that's really cool. It says it's a pore vanishing matte finish foundation, and I've actually bought this. It's out for delivery today, so I will do a review on that, because I'm actually kind of running out of the foundations that I have. I'm looking at my collection right now, and I really only have like 3 that I kind of still rotate around and use, and some of them are actually like too dark for me right now, which is so sad, because we're in the middle of the summer. You would think this would be like when I have a tan, right? But no, it's just so hot outside, so I haven't even been able to be outside for like 3 months or 3 weeks, I mean. And so my tan that I had a little while ago has kind of faded. Like for me, like I get a tan before the summer and after the summer. I live in Vegas. Let me know if any of you guys live in Vegas, and I would love to meet up and do something. But anyway, the summers here are just dreadful. Like they suck. So yeah, that tan that I talked about a while back, that's all gone. So I ordered this foundation in hopefully what is my shade, and I will probably do a foundation review with that pretty soon, probably coming in this week actually. So yeah, I'm very excited about this, and the shade range also looked pretty good on it, so that's great. So I know there's been a lot of people talking about this already, but this is the collab with Too Faced and Drybar. It is their sparkling, what's it called, Glitter Spritzer Sparkle Spray. And I know a lot of people think this is kind of stupid. It's like, what, it's a glitter hairspray? Like, when am I gonna use that? But I actually think it's kind of cool. Like, it's one of those like things that you use for special occasions. Maybe you're going to like a festival or something, or you're going to a party, or you just want to have some glitter in your hair the day before you wash it. I think it's kind of a cool idea. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't be mad if I had this. Like, it wouldn't be like an everyday thing. I wouldn't be going around spraying glitter in my hair every day, but like, it's kind of cute. I don't know, I don't hate it. Will I pick it up? No, I probably won't, but I'm not against it like a lot of other people seem to be. I do want to talk about this new eyeshadow palette by Kylie Cosmetics though. Kylie is celebrating her 21st birthday, and she came out with a collection. So the eyeshadow palette is called Sipping Pretty, which I guess is because you sip alcohol when you turn 21, and so just kind of goes with the theme. But anyway, I've heard a lot of people say that this reminds them of the Born to Run palette by Urban Decay, and I'm going to highly disagree. I don't think it looks like that at all. Like, if it looks like any palette, it looks like the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I actually don't hate this palette. I think it looks kind of pretty. The only thing is that it's kind of big and it's kind of expensive. I think it's $65 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure this palette is already available. I'm not going to pick it up just because I have tried Kylie's shadows in the past and I just didn't really like the formula, so this is not something that I would be interested in personally, mostly because it's her brand. But if someone else released this palette, I would probably like go check it out and maybe swatch it. Like, I think a lot of these shades are really pretty. And I like that she has enough mattes in this palette to really make like a lot of different looks out of it and not have to use the same kind of shades in the crease every time. So yeah, I don't hate this palette at all. I like the shade range. I like that it kind of goes from very light to very dark, and it's got a bunch of shimmers and metallics and mattes in it, and I think it looks kind of nice, to be honest. I also want to talk about this new Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And so what's different about this palette is that this is an all shimmer palette. So this is supposed to kind of go with their old Take Me Back to Brazil palette, which was an all matte, very colorful palette. I have that palette. I like the palette. The only thing I don't really like about it is that the pan sizes are just so small. Like, it's one thing to have a small palette, but to have pan sizes that are so small that you can't even get your finger in it, like, that's kind of fine if you have a matte, but a lot of people like to use their fingers when they use shimmery shades because you get a better color payoff with it. And so I think the format of this palette is just not ideal. I feel like they could have kept the palette the same size, maybe taken out some of the shades and then made the pans bigger so you could like actually get in there with your finger. I won't be picking up this palette. I think it's a good idea. I think they're kind of trying to just make money on the same concept that they already have by bringing out another palette in like the same theme, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it's interesting. It's not a terrible idea. I'm not personally going to pick it up, but I can see some people liking it. Now here's an interesting one, because this is a new release from Jeffree, and I have never tried anything from Jeffree. So they're coming out with 6 new lip products, 4 which looks to be new lip cream shades. So I guess these are more of like a satin lipstick kind of thing, or maybe they're glosses, I'm not really sure, but I don't think they're like matte liquid lipsticks. They're more of like the ones that don't dry down completely. And they're also coming out with 2 lip toppers. And the lip toppers, let me tell you, like, I got so excited when I saw these. I think these look absolutely beautiful, especially that dark purple one with the shimmers in it. Oh. Can you tell I like purple, by the way? Like, I have a thing for purple. Honestly, I just have a thing for color. I like every color. I don't really discriminate when it comes to color, and I'm sure you already know that, unless you're new here. And if you are new here, you should probably check out my other videos, because if you like color, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, like, I'm really interested in this, so I will probably check these out at some point if I can find somewhere that sell them near me. Okay, so I guess it looks like they're available August 7th on their website. I'm not sure if they will come into stores. If they don't come into any stores, I'm gonna have to look at some reviews of people buying from their site and see if they're any good. And if they do get good reviews, I might pick one of these up. Which one? I don't know, but I would love to try something from Jeffree. I feel like I need to talk about this. The new highlighter from Fenty Beauty. The silver one. Am I the only one who doesn't really understand this? Is this supposed to be just one of those like novelty items that you buy because of the brand but that you know you won't really use? From my understanding, I think that 100% of the profits of this product goes to a charity. And if that's the case, I think that's amazing, but I still think they should have made a product that would actually kind of work for what it's intended to be as. Or is that just me? Like a silver highlight? Who's gonna use that? I can't even think of like any skin tone that would look flattering on. Like, it might look awesome in like an editorial type setting, but for like everyday wear, no one's gonna walk around with a silver highlight, right? Like, it would be great as an eyeshadow, but it's not advertised as an eyeshadow. And if you want to buy a silver eyeshadow, you don't need a pan that's like the size of your head, because that's way too much product to ever go through, so you might as well just buy a small eyeshadow. So I don't really understand this release. I get they're trying to be different, but different isn't always a good thing if it's not very versatile and wearable. I also want to talk about this new Natasha Denona 5-pan palette. Now, I get having a all neutral palette, but if you're going to make a 5-pan neutral palette, it better be fucking perfect. Like, everyone has this now. And looking at this palette, like, why do 2 of the matte shades look exactly the same? Why? Like, why can't you make them all different? There's like a wide spectrum of browns that you can make. And yet to decide to have 2 that are exactly the same. I don't understand this. Like, this could be such a great, like, everyday wearable palette for someone who is not super into makeup and want to splurge on, like, one thing that they're going to wear to work every day. But this is not perfect. Why would you not make it perfect? Natasha, I don't understand some of your new releases. Here's a new one that I just saw on Trendmood today. I haven't really been scrolling through Trendmood a lot lately, but I saw this, and it's 2 new eyeshadow palettes from RLG Cosmetics. I have never heard of this brand. I should probably do some research and figure out what they're all about. But they have 2 new eyeshadow palettes coming out, and I guess they're available already. They look kind of nice. I am not hating on this at all. The only thing is that the mattes in the first one, they all kind of look the same, and there's not really like a range of mattes. It's just 3 very dark mattes, brown and black. And I don't see that to be super versatile, but I love the shimmers in both of these palettes. The shimmers look amazing, if I can say so myself. Like, I want those on my eyes. I want Wayo on my eyes. I want Karu on my eyes. I want Aya on my eyes. I want all these shimmers on my eyes, especially from the palette with the blue in it. I think that palette is definitely the nicest one. I also don't really understand the color story of the mattes here. Maybe you're supposed to be using them like row by row, like going downwards. I can see like that kind of making sense if you just want to have one matte nude crease and then put the shimmers on the lid, and I think that would look kind of cool, but it's not like my ideal kind of palette layout with the shades the way they are. I don't think that I'll be picking any of these up, but I'll be interested in seeing some reviews and like just hearing about this brand, because I don't know if this is one of their first releases. If it is, it's very interesting to be a first release. Okay, so I'm looking on their website now, and this is definitely not their first release. So they have another eyeshadow palette. I will put it up so you can see it. And this one is actually kind of cool. Like, I don't hate this. I think it's a very interesting, unique color story. And I am very interested in seeing if anybody wants to talk about this brand, because I have never heard of them. It looks to be a UK brand, and some of their lip products and stuff look kind of nice too. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to see what this brand is all about and what they can do. I might even do some research myself and just see who they are and if I can figure out a little bit more about them, because I can see them coming out with some kind of cool stuff. So here's another one that I saw earlier today, and I'm like interested and not interested, and this is the new blush range from Dior, and it looks to be available online at Nordstrom and Macy's, and also on Dior's site, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like there is 60 new shades of blushes, and I think this range of blushes is beautiful. I think a lot of these look really nice. I like the pinkish tones, and I also like the salmony one and the more of the peachy ones. I think they all look really nice. I'm sure Dior has some awesome blush formulas, because I've been so impressed by their highlighting palette that I just got from their new collection. I've been literally obsessed and using it every single day, and me using something every day is that, I mean, that takes a lot. That means the product is really, 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 really good, because I mean, I don't really have that much makeup, but I still like to rotate through my makeup and like use different things and like get use out of what I have. So when I go for one thing every single day for like 2 weeks, that really tells you something. And so after trying that from Dior, like now I really want to try a lot more of their face products. I also have a foundation, which I actually used a foundation today. This is the Dior Forever Undercover Full Coverage Foundation. I like this foundation a lot, so yeah, I'm a big fan of Dior's makeup, and I wouldn't mind picking up one of these blushes, except they're $44 each. Why? Lastly, I just want to touch on this new Jeffree Star release. I'm not really one for liquid highlighters, and I've never tried any of his other highlighters, like the pressed powder ones. But he's coming out with liquid highlighters called Liquid Frost, which I guess is because his other highlighters are called Frost something, right? So I don't think that I'll personally pick these up, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be talking about them, and I'm interested to see what they say. It also said he's coming out with Gel Hybrid Baked Gel Highlighter for extra wet finish. Now this I'm excited about. I don't know if they've shown any spoilers for this or teasers. Maybe they have and I've just missed it. But I really want to try some of Jeffree Star's highlighters. The only thing is that his highlighters are so big. I don't need that much highlight. Like, I like my highlight, but again, I have a lot of highlights, and I just got that Dior palette, and that's gonna take me like a year to go through if I'll ever hit pan on that, which I probably will because I love it. But if I'm going to buy a single highlighter, it better be something that I know I'll be using a lot, and I also don't want it to be like the size of my hand. Like, his highlighters are literally this big. And so, unless he comes out with like smaller highlighters, or maybe like a small highlighting palette, that would be amazing. I would love to try that. And I know a lot of people hate on Jeffree Star, but honestly, his products, at least what I've tried from him, have been so good that, yeah, I might not support him as a person, even though I've been watching Shane Dawson's new series with Jeffree, and if you haven't watched that already, I will link it down below in the description for you because it is amazing, and it's really changed how I look at Jeffree as a person, because when I first got into makeup, which is not that long ago, maybe like a year, I didn't know who Jeffree Star was, so from everything that I've seen has been from his past year. I don't know anything about his past. I did not know he was into music. I didn't know any of the drama that's been going on with Jeffree, so yeah, it cleared up a lot for me, and I can see why people, you know, why he was involved in the drama that he was, and I just think it's kind of cool that he's finally sharing his story with someone that he respects and he trusts, and that he can like open up to all of us about his life. And yeah, I have like a newfound respect for Jeffree Star, and I know a lot of people might hate me for saying that, but honestly, I don't really care. And I think that's going to just sum up today's video, because I don't want to sit here and talk for 45 minutes because there's just so much coming out every week, and I would rather talk about the stuff that I care about, and maybe you care about something else, and that's great, but I am going to talk about the makeup that I'm interested in, whether it's because I think it's stupid or because I think it's awesome and I want to get it. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and I will happily do so. And I hope I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.